Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday. Welcome to day 4. I'm excited to be here. I don't really know if anybody's going to jump on. We'll see. I'm changed up the time from the first 3 days. I will let you know tomorrow what time we will do it, but it probably won't be 3. And it probably won't be 7. So I'll post in the group and let you guys know when I'll be here. So when you arrive, just shout, hey, put something in the chat. If you're watching a replay, then write that you're replaying it so that I know that you're actively participating so you can win potentially this 30-minute session with me. Someone will win. I'm excited for whoever I get to work with and send energy and love to. I'll just wait another minute. If no one hops on, then we'll just get started and the replay will be there and will be available. I hope everyone has had a good week so far and applying all of these amazing things that we've been talking about. I intend to set the space. I intend that whoever is supposed to find this and watch it would find it and watch it. That I could be a channel and that it would just be helpful, useful advice, that I could be of service and to be clear and helpful in what ways I can. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. So yesterday we talked about how to let go of fear and self-sabotage. And we talked about some of the addictions that we hold with creating that fear and that self-sabotaging behavior, how it's a chemical loop that we've created within our mind and within our body, right? So moving forward from that, how do we move past those self-sabotaging behaviors? Hey, John, thanks for being here. Those fears, those self-sabotaging habits, and all the rest by creating daily habits. So the little habits that we do every single day, we may not think of it in the time, but those are building up that foundational space that we were talking about yesterday to be the bigger picture of who you are. And we don't think of it in terms of small. Like I said yesterday too, we want that big realization or that big shift or that big alignment, but it doesn't always happen that way. It's the little tiny steps that we're taking in between. So by creating daily habits, we're building on that foundational energy and we're literally changing the DNA of who we are. We're changing our chemical structure by doing that. So building off of those action steps and creating consistency. Consistency is key here. And so each day we should be asking ourselves, how could I make my life 1% better today? It doesn't have to be a big, huge number, just 1%. How could I make my life better today? I really, really like this because, we spoke a little bit on this yesterday. It gives you the freedom to just make little micro changes, and you can do that in several different places. You can make more than one micro change, and when you keep up with it and you do it consistently, you're going to start to feel differently, and so you'll be able to start to take on more and make more commitment and do more for yourself. So think that to yourself each day. How can I make myself just 1% better? And then the things that I use to work towards my own personal growth and alignment are, like I said before, since the beginning, within my core 4, my mind, my body, my balance, and my spirit. So the things that align me in these 4 places are having a morning routine. You've probably heard this before, and I don't know, maybe you've just brushed it off, or maybe you haven't taken it seriously, or maybe you do something and that's great. Maybe you could add to it, maybe you could improve on it and make it better. But a morning routine has literally changed my life. And it doesn't have to be something cookie cutter. You don't have to take what somebody else does and make that your morning routine. Do what feels right to you. So for me, and this is just coming from my personal experience, I really enjoy, I read what I call my vision map. And it's essentially like what we made in this first day that we discussed with each other. It's basically a list of my goals, my manifestations, things that I desire. I have pictures, I have just all things like that. I have affirmations, I have quotes that I really enjoy. And what this does is it helps me to reset every single day. So like I said, I have that built-in forgetter. And this is something too that like, I'm human. I mean, I do it like pretty much every day, but there's days that I haven't done it. And I can tell you that the days that I don't do it, I feel a huge difference because my built-in forgetter takes over and then I lose focus of whatever my goals are. And so I have been training myself to do it on a daily basis. And so that means too that, you know, sometimes I don't do it in the morning and then it's like, I think about it at noon and I'm like, oh, I really like probably should do that. So guess what? I do it. I do it then. And then I remember to do it in the morning the next day. And it's helpful. And so that's part of my morning routine. Another part of my morning routine is I pull cards for myself. That's something that I really resonate with and I enjoy. I like oracle cards. I like the angel cards I have. Sometimes I do tarot. But I feel like it gives me direction. A lot of times I ask like different questions. What could I most improve on today? What could I focus on most today? And it just gives me like a nice piece of wisdom and advice that I feel helps to ground me and center me to going forward. Something that I'm still working on doing even more consistently in the morning time, first thing when I wake up, is breathing and meditation. I do meditate in the day and I do breathing in the day, but doing it in the morning, right when I wake up, because it makes such a difference. It really, really, really does. And then I like to do something like go to the gym, I do either gym, yoga, or sometimes I don't do any movement or activity, or maybe I dance, but I just listen to my body and kind of gauge where I'm feeling at for the day and what I should do other than that. So, and then saying affirmations. So I have, like I said on my vision map, the affirmations, and that is something that it's one of those things that for a really long time I was just like, oh yeah, affirmations are really good, they're super helpful, but I just like never applied them. I don't know why. It was like, or just like breathing too, I did that for a long time. It's like, oh yeah, and then this is something that's like really, really good and I should probably do it, but like I just don't really do it. But since I've been consistently doing affirmations, it changes the chemical structure of your brain. It just changes things and it helps you to think differently, because what you're doing is you're rewiring those words so that the first words that you think of aren't necessarily the way that you would typically think. They're new ways of thinking. They're the ways that you affirm your life. So affirmations has been something hugely impactful in my life. And I have pages. I have like 3 pages of affirmations and I don't read all of them, but I'll go through and I'll pick like 3 to 5 and I read them 3 times each, the 3 to 5 that I pick. And I pick different ones every day because I keep it spicy and it feels nice because there's so many things that we can create and do in order to move forward and to build ourselves up. So affirmations, really, really big. It's a great way to just start rewiring those subconscious thoughts. So moving the body, I told you guys this before, at least once a day. Maybe for an hour, that would be ideal, but even if it's just for 30 minutes, just move your body every single day in some way that you're consciously choosing to move it. This is a game changer. And when you're doing it in ways that you love and that make you feel good, because then you're, like I said yesterday, falling in love with the process and you're changing the energy that's surrounding you doing that task. And so when you do that, then you're just bringing the results to you quicker is what's happening with that. So I move my body at least once every single day. And then seeing how I can show up for others in my life and be of service. In what ways do I give back that brings me joy? Doing this has been something that has immensely changed my life because it's helped me to shift my attention off of myself and off of my own psychotic thoughts of looping into what my problems are and how I feel about myself, and getting myself outside of that box and, you know, just being helpful and of use, because that immediately, we have a specific wire in our brain that releases basically serotonin and dopamine. We have joy that circulates when we give. And it's crazy because sometimes our inclination is to do the opposite and like, I have nothing right now, so I can't give. But really, when you have nothing and you give, it creates that happiness flowing through your brain. So it's actually giving you something that you can use to keep moving forward. So I do that on a daily basis to see who in my life or what in my life that I can be in a way of giving to. And then seeing where I can also be more gentle with myself and provide love or self-care. So checking in, and this really helps with that morning routine to be like, okay, where am I at today? Because every day is different. And I think that we expect our lives to be like this cookie cutter space where it's just like we wake up and we do the same thing day in, day out because we have the same like habits and actions, right? Except our feelings are different because we're human. And so we don't feel the same every day. And so instead of like ignoring that and just going straight for like how we think we should feel and trying to alter the way that we feel because we feel like it's supposed to be different than what's happening, is it's not honoring where we're at. It's not meeting ourselves where we're at. And we can move things much quicker and much easier to create the life of our dreams if we're not resisting the process. And the process is that you're human. There's ups, there's downs, there's ins, there's outs, there's all types of ways of looking at things. And it's not one way and it's not cookie cutter. And it's important for you to check in with yourself and see where you're at, even day to day and even moment to moment. So self-love for sure, being gentle with myself. I can be my own worst critic for sure. When I'm feeling like I just need to be better at things. But then it's like you go back to that 1%, right? I just need to be 1% better today. 1% better than I was yesterday. And then we keep going from there. And before you know it, you're a whole 100% better than you used to be because you just took it 1% at a time. So incorporating always like something that's, there's three things that I like to incorporate within my day, educationally speaking, to expand my mind. Something that's either motivational, educational, or inspirational. So I listen to a podcast or read a book, or I listen to somebody speak, or I do something that's gonna move me upwards, in an upwards trajectory, right? So I'm surrounding myself with different things that are adding to my elevated vibration. And I do this more than once a day, but my goal is at least once a day for like an hour. And then sometimes, like I said, it's a lot more because I just have so many things that now I'm excited about learning about and hearing about and listening to, that it's kind of just moving quicker because I started with that 1%. It was like, okay, well, at least an hour. Now, I feel where I can because it fills me and it makes me feel great. But the key here is consistency. To be as consistent as you can while also being gentle with yourself. It's a fine balance between not cutting yourself too much slack, but then also like understanding that you're gonna fail and you're gonna make mistakes and that's okay. And just to bounce back from that and really work hard towards the consistency. And this is where, working with somebody can be extremely helpful. I have coaches that I work with and have worked with in the past. I do coaching. I'm going to talk about a program that I have offering at the end of this. Just being open to having that help or that assistance, or whether you have a mentor or a spiritual advisor or whatever it is, like that stuff's going to expand you. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? So in those ways, those are going to bring your life to a greater expansion and you'll be creating more of the life of your dreams because you're inviting more in. Therefore, you're magnetized to bring more to you. So consistency is key here. Repetition will create this consistency. Build up those positive habits that take you closer to your dream life. So day-to-day stuff, what are the little habits that build up and make you the bigger person of who you are? So, sometimes for me, it was like crazy. When I first started doing yoga, I would just do yoga so sporadically because I don't know, it was like a chore to make me to do it because it made me tired, but I also like felt really, really good after I did it. And so it was like this weird disconnect. And so what I started doing is instead of being like, okay, I'm gonna do a 45-minute practice or an hour-long practice, I'd be like, you know what? I like really should probably move my body today, but I'm like not feeling it. So I'm gonna do like a 20-minute slow flow. And I would just do that. And honestly, like meeting myself in that space helped me to be consistent and build up that trust muscle with myself. And then so that I was able to continuously do it, because then it wasn't like, it didn't feel, like a punishment to do yoga. It was like, you know, like, oh, I gotta do yoga. It was like, oh man, okay, like what am I gonna do today that feels right in my body? Like, am I gonna do, you know, sometimes I feel, and now it's like, I'll know when my body's like, I need something that's like pumping today. I need like a 45-minute to an hour vinyasa flow. I need to move. I need to get this out. So I just know now because I listened to myself when I needed to be more gentle and more calm. But I created the consistency, which is key. So take baby steps. Like we said, we've said this over and over again, but I just want to pound it into your heads. Baby steps is more important than taking those, like, little steps lead up to those quantum leaps, because you're not going to get up to those quantum leaps until you make the baby steps in between. Be honest with yourself. Seriously, be honest with yourself. You need the honesty to grow and to change. So as well as being compassionate, also be real with yourself. Like I said, you're not fooling anybody except for you. So it doesn't do anybody else a disservice except for you to be dishonest with yourself about where you're at. Remember that you can't give up. You can't. Failure is to be expected. And in fact, I want to pull a card on, I pulled a card on that I wanted to read, and I was a little bit like, at first, because it's a reverse card, but it's giving the realism to what's going on. Not that all reverse is bad, but this particular one is not, and I shouldn't even say bad, it's not bad, but it's getting that alternative perspective that you're just kind of like, oh, okay, I don't really want to hear that, but like, it's important to hear. So it's crowning, right? When we're face up, we're like, all the gems and things open into the universe to us, all the things coming to us, giving us peace, to a restless life, just everything that we desire, 21 Yael. But inverted, you risk overlooking a well-meant offer due to your arrogance. Consider the fact that your tasks ought to correspond with your training. So meet yourself where you're at. Do not make the mistake of hoping for too much in a budding relationship. So don't try to be the overachiever. Meet yourself where you're at. Keep moving forward. Expect failure. Expect that, you know, hard times are going to come, but like, use your resources, use the things that build up that trust muscle with yourself to help you be consistent. You will work through it, and you will come out bigger and higher up on the other side of it. So don't give up. If you fall off the horse, get back on it. Commit to yourself, to your growth, to your progress, to your dream life. Read that every day. Recenter yourself. Remind yourself what it is that you desire and what you want in life. Keep coming back to your honesty, reevaluate, check in with where you're at in comparison to where you want to be and what you need to do. What are the action steps to get you there? Create more action steps to get closer to your goals. This is how you're going to create the life of your dreams. So I know a lot of that was coming into, like, we talked a lot about the things that we talked about yesterday, but that's a lot of the same stuff. And I added, you know, some other stuff about specifics that you can do, affirmations, having a morning routine, and seeing how you can be of service, how you can move your body, all those types of things, right? And then tomorrow we're going to talk about acting as though. So I'm going to give a couple more tools that have helped me to work through a lot of this stuff and to get me where I'm at. I want to close with, well, we're going to do the healing meditation using Aquarian fire and Reiki and breath just for a couple minutes to help us integrate this positive change within our life. And then I'm going to talk about the coaching program that I've been offering, that I'm working with a couple people in it right now. And I want to make it available to 3 people. So for right now, in this moment, let's get ourselves to a settled place. I'm going to invite Reiki and the Aquarian fire to just move through this space, and that we could just activate the abundance that we know is eternally in us, that we are made of, that we naturally are. Take a deep breath with me in through your body, and exhale, release. And just bring yourself to a settled space, really tapping into your heart center where your desires are, and just intend to be open to receiving this activation of abundance into your being. Set up this energetic space. It's a container that is safe for anybody that feels they want to receive. It's transferable for whenever you watch this. At any point you can pick up the energies and the activations and receive. Take a deep breath in throughout your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. And when you're ready, you can come back into the space. Thank you for everybody that's stuck with me doing this challenge. It's really been an honor to be doing this. So, at the end of the challenge on Friday, or anybody that's interested can definitely reach out, but I'm offering my coaching program. I only have 3 slots available to work with me. And basically in this coaching program, it's 8 weeks. We go through each of the chakras and we figure out where blocks are, and we do archetypal activation. So we work with the shadow. We really see where some of your biggest blocks are and how we can move through those things. And I give you, I challenge you and I help you to work through these things. A lot of deep stuff comes up, and the people that I've worked with in this program have said, well, not that they've said, I've seen too, like just experiencing huge transformational shifts. So it's not something for the faint of heart. You have to be really ready to shift yourself into the next level. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to yourself. It's a commitment to your journey, to your path, and to moving yourself into the next space, into the next level. So I hold you accountable and I help you to be a better you each week. And it's something that has been a really big joy of mine to bring into this world, to create, to birth. So the people that are wanting to work in this program, like I said, it's a serious commitment. So it's 8 weeks of a commitment. We would meet once a week for an hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes. And the program is only $3,500, but for the people that are doing this workshop, this challenge, I'm going to offer a 30% discount. So it's only going to be $2,450. And I do offer payment plans. So talk to me, let me know if it's something that you'd be interested in. If you'd like a serious inquired discovery call where we talk for 30 minutes and I can explain more deeply into the program and what it is and what you'll get out of it and what you can expect, reach out and we'll schedule a call. And I know that whoever is feeling called and aligned to this is gonna come out, and we'll get to work together. And I'd be honored to share space with you, hold space with you for this sacred part of your journey. So with that, I will see you all tomorrow. It is our last day. It's our 5th day of this challenge. We're gonna bring it all in, rain everything full circle, acting as though, being open to receiving. So we'll talk about bringing that abundance into us as we're coming closer into creating the life of our dreams. I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.